morning, my little peaches. The time is 7:02 on this very cold Wednesday morning.
Brr.
It is hump day.
Yes.
Yay! Woo-hoo! Middle of the week.
We're
On the
getting
downward swing.
Right.
Yes,
Just
I'm so
at
excited.
the crest, heading over.
Good morning, sir. How are
Good
you?
morning. I'm fine, Treese. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
I know it.
So it's already been a little wild in here this morning. We're looking up some stuff, lots of stuff in the news, and top of that, we're going to talk about it probably in the next segment. But we're going to be tackling the Alabama High School Athletic Association's new classifications. They've reclassified, and folks are not happy at all, especially some of these coaches. So we'll talk about that in a little while so you'll know what's coming up. We're also going to talk about Mickey D's. One of them, I have to admit, probably I have two favorite fast food places. One doesn't really consider themselves fast food. Mickey D's does, and they're one of my all-time favorites. And then you've got Chick-fil-A. I mean, I
know, it's hard to beat.
I can't. So, but McDonald's is doing something interesting. We'll talk about that as well. And we got just all kinds of other good stuff in the news. We'll talk about, one thing that is changing on some different airline, a particular airline is changing the way they do some things. And what is it, the what are they called? What are they called? The TSA, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
They are about to enforce some stuff, too.
Some new regulations?
Yes, we're going to talk about that as well. So we got a lot for y'all this morning. First up, we want to thank our morning show sponsors. Thank you to Chilton Mobile Home Supply, Country Financial Insurance, Central Alabama Wellness, Coca-Cola, Mike Baker, my bestie. He keeps us with all the Coca-Cola products, thank God, because morning times I sure need it. So here we go. A 1 and a 2 and a... Oh, I struggled with that one. It stuck. You got hung up.
That was well put together.
Oh, cheers. It was terrible. It was awful.
You know, things just go better with Coca-Cola.
Yes, they do. Everything goes better. Isn't that what Bear Bryant said? Coca-Cola and Golden Flake
that was
chips?
one of their many... slogans over the years.
Mm-hmm.
They've really embedded themselves in our lexicon, as they say.
Yeah, they did.
Or at least in my part of the world. Good stuff.
So, I'm just going to jump right into some stuff this morning. I got tickled at the hubby this morning. I did.
While you're fixing him breakfast?
No, I did not fix him breakfast.
Oh,
I get up and I fix his
did.
lunch and I get his clothes out for him.
Well, that's right. I knew you fixed something.
And I don't have to do that. I mean, nobody's told me I had to. He's not cracking the whip. Woman, get in there and fix my lunch.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't work too well.
Get my clothes ready. No, if you know me, you know that would not work well.
Any
but
woman.
he does such sweet things for me, and I, in return, like to do sweet things for him.
Sure you do.
Okay, so during Christmas time, my feet, they stay so cold.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
My feet are icebergs.
Just keep them on that side of the table.
They are so cold. That and my hands are so cold. And I came home one day, and he had ordered me some of these really, really thick sock slippers, and they look like a little reindeer. And they are so warm. They're so warm, in fact, that I get hot, and I have to kick them off at some point.
Yeah, right.
And then, I said, I was looking at them and I said, these are so cute. I said, I really need to get another pair. One, because I'm wearing these out already. And two, because they have reindeer on them. And I really was hoping to get, something a little different. I get home yesterday and he's got me a new pair, the same exact kind. Just, they got little they're like cats on the top. Instead of reindeer, it's cats. And they are so cute, and they're exactly like the other ones. So immediately I put them on, and I'm traipsing around the house, and I'm me little kitties. They're like sock slippers is what they are.
Yeah.
They're so warm. And so I absolutely love that he pays attention, and he hears me do. And I had mentioned this on Monday night. I said, yeah, I need to get some more of these. And he said, some that don't have reindeer on them. And I said, yeah. I come home yesterday and they're already there. It took them overnight to get there. He'd already ordered them and they were waiting on me.
It's kind of a limited time period. You wear those reindeer ones, right?
Yeah, and I just thought
just
that was
in the particular season.
so thoughtful.
It was.
But then this morning I got tickled. Do you and your wife have like do you have a morning ritual that you do when you get up? Like you get up, brush your teeth, comb your hair, shower, however you do it. Well, hubby does, and every I'm gonna get tickled just talking about it. Well, I've noticed. I've never said anything, but I've noticed that he has a whole thing going on at the sink when he's brushing his teeth. I mean, the noises and the stuff that is coming, it sounds like he's having an exorcism over there on his sink. And I got so tickled this morning. I said, he started laughing. He was laughing at me laughing. And I was like, what is it? I said, you just got a lot going on over there. I just wonder. I said, it's getting me tickled.
So you never really paid attention till this morning.
Because he brushes this, I do too. I brush my tongue when I brush my teeth. I get it all. And I feel like he goes too far. And he's going, he's making these noises.
He's choking.
I'm like, look, we don't have to do all that. I mean, we don't have to do all that. And I guess I got tickled because it reminded me of my grandpa. And then I'm looking and I was like, yeah, that just reminds me of what a grandpa would do. Not even for a second until later entering my mind that we are even older now than what my grandpa was when he did that.
Right.
So like he was probably in his 40s and I'm thinking that's like the most ancient, because when you're like 6 or 7 years old.
Oh yeah, that's right.
When you're 40, that is a big deal. My dad was in his 20s, he might have been almost 30.
Well, Trish, we're not quite old yet. We're getting there, but we're not quite old yet.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that, back then I thought it was ancient. Now I'm in my late 50s and I'm like, but I'm still young. In my head, I am not the age that I am. I got tickled because it's just so funny that what it reminded me of. And now I get, it really gets me going because it's just, I'm doing my hair and I'm looking and I'm like, what? And I just bust out laughing. And he's like, what is it?
Now we're talking about our grooming habits.
You got a lot going on
the radio
with all the gagging and stuff. He goes, well,
got to get that last little centimeter back there.
I also got a lot of sinus stuff going on. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's right. That's fine. Yeah, and I'm telling him that. I'm telling on him this morning because we had a conversation last night, and I did not work out last night. And he was poking at me a little bit about it, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm gonna save that one for later.
Getting a couple digs in, was he?
I didn't even have to wait for later. I just waited till this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I said that I might go to the doctor and try to get on something to help me lose a little weight. And a friend of his was like, she takes stuff and it's worked really well for her. And I was like, yeah, but I just don't know. I'm just kind of.
Right, that's what happens.
Yeah. So anyway, she was like, well, how much does she weigh? And he told her what he thought I weighed. And I was like, I do not weigh that. You are. He goes, well, I had to take a guess. And I go, well, you're way off, just so you know. And he goes, okay, well, there's a scales. The scales are in the bedroom. We can see.
That's kind of a sensitive subject.
I did. I got on the scales. For men in
particular, I don't recommend it.
I know. And I got on the scales, and I got right back off. He said, was I right? And I said, no, you were not, because I have on clothes.
Well, you have to factor that in. That's what I hate to go to the doctor, or something and you have to step on that scale. And, you got everything on you, your phone, your keys, everything. It's just like
that doesn't count. out.
You got to subtract, 4 or 5 pounds, right?
Exactly. I mean,
That's what
at
I
least,
think.
it's right at 5 actually when you add your shoes. And that's why whenever I go to the doctor, I'm like, make sure you take off 5 because I'm
That's
wearing
what I
my
say.
I'm
I
wearing
do.
my clog hoppers today, and they're really heavy. They always laugh at me, and I'm like, no, we ain't got. They're like, let's step on the scales. I said, we don't have to do all that. I can tell you how much I weigh. We don't. I mean, you're just getting messy now.
Well, but you could
talk about
still get back to your exercise, routine.
I can. I got to get motivated now first.
I recommend walking. That's what I do. I do that.
Well, yeah, I would do that.
At least an
except
hour
for
a
it's
day.
2 degrees outside.
Well, yeah, but even
And
that,
it's dark when
bundle
I get
up.
home.
Bundle up. Get your flashlight.
No.
Do you live in a subdivision? Y'all live in a subdivision?
Yes,
Well, that
I'm
might not want to have a flashlight around the subdivision.
Yeah.
But if you got a park or something you can go to, that would be something to do also. But it takes time to do that. You just can't. I don't know that I recommend anybody losing a lot of weight
At one
immediately.
time.
Right?
Yeah, it is bad. I've done it before.
It's
My
hard
hair
to keep
started
it
falling out.
off, but it's better if you can gradually get there. I think. I mean,
Well,
what do I know though?
several years
That's
ago,
what my wife tells me. Works for her.
I got into this thing where I was going to lose some weight. I saw myself in a swimsuit, and I went, oh, no, we're not doing this. So I went like extreme. I started working out at the gym. I cut out all my sodas. I was drinking nothing but water and lemon. I started doing Zumba. I was walking in between doing the Zumba and the gym.
I don't know what that means.
and
Zumba. What is Zumba? Is that just like
it's kind of like a dance exercise.
Okay, yeah. All right, that's what
And then
figured.
I started watching what I was eating, and I was eating everything was grilled or baked. I was not eating any fried foods, anything. I started doing the Zumba at the end of September, and by Thanksgiving, I had dropped 30 pounds. 30 pounds is a lot to lose over an 8-week period.
Oh, I could.
Your body almost
would
doesn't have
imagine.
time to catch up. So my hair started falling out.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I wouldn't think.
My skin started not looking good, even though I was
That's kinda
drinking a
what
lot
I
of
was
water.
thinking,
It's
you
just-
know?
Everything was going wrong. And I thought, here I was. I look back on it now and I see, but at the time I thought I looked good. I was like, whoa, Mama's got it going.
So you walked out of the house thinking that it's good, positive.
Yep. And then one of the ladies
Reinforcement?
at the school said, girl, I'm going to have to hold you down and feed you a biscuit. She said, you lost too much weight. And I was, well, that hurt my feelings, but I didn't stop. I kept going. Before it was over, I'd lost 50 pounds in less than 4 months, and it showed. I started having, it was bad. The health issues that come with that are not good. So, all right, it's 7:15. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll finish thanking our morning show sponsors, and we're going to dive into some of these headlines that we told y'all about. So y'all stay with us. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Mike broadcasting live from the Clanton Tractor Studio. Stay with us.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience.
We are back. The time is 7:18. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. It is hump day. That means 2 more days and Saturday, and I get to do nothing. I'm so excited.
I hope you get to do nothing on Saturday.
Do nothing. Now, this past Saturday, I did do nothing. It was yucky outside, and I just didn't feel like, okay. Yeah. I didn't feel like I wanted to do a whole lot, and I didn't do a whole lot Sunday either, but I at least did. I washed some clothes a little bit, and we went and got groceries, which is not my fun. I don't like that. That's not fun to me. I want to say good morning to Miss Gail and to Kathy. Thank y'all for watching and listening. I appreciate it so much. I want to finish thanking our morning show sponsors. Thank you to Chilton Chamber of Commerce, Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Putter Up in Pelham, and they have a big tournament that they are doing. It is a parent-child tournament. It's going to be Sunday, February the 22nd. It's going to start at 1 o'clock. They're taking 18 teams. There's an 18-team limit. It's $40 per group. The top 3 teams win prizes, and a portion of the proceeds go to Restoring Joy Recovery. Reservations are required, so you'll need to call or get on their website and reserve your spot. And this whole thing is sponsored by Titleist, so that's a pretty big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah, so Putter Up is in Pelham. It's where the Old Valley Elementary School used to be. They've made that an entertainment district. So you go inside, they've got several businesses in there. They've got restaurants and some other stuff in there. And then Putter Up, and that's indoor. If you don't know what Putter Up is, it's indoor mini golf with, I mean, it's high tech though.
Yeah.
The technology is in the putter, and you can set your challenges up and make it easier or harder. And what I love is at least a couple times a month, if you have a family member that is like sensitive to sounds and lights and things like that, they have a day where you can go and bring that family member, and they can play without all of that, the sensory stuff. I mean, that's a big deal for a lot of kids that are autistic and grown-ups that are autistic.
Exactly.
The lights and the sounds are just too much on there. It's sensory overload. So they have it on those days where they don't do the lights and the sound. They can just come in and play. Well, I appreciate them so much. They have been really good to the station. Also, thank you to Old Orchard Amish Furniture. Bruce has some of the best outdoor furniture around, and I'm gonna tell you, spring is around the corner. I know it doesn't feel like it now, but it is around the corner, and you're gonna want that outdoor furniture because it's
really beautiful stuff. I
quality
see it.
stuff.
I pass by it all the time.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah, he's got a great,
wonderful selection out there.
Yeah, his place is really nice out there. Also, thank you to Wood Surfside Marina. That's something else you want to think about. It's not going to be long before you're going to want to get those boats serviced, because it's going to be time to get them in the water. But also, you may be in the market for a new boat. And Wood Surfside Marina is your marina for Lay Lake and Lake Mitchell. So you want to get out there and see. They specialize in Bennington. So if you want a Bennington pontoon, go see my buddy Mark. He'll cook you up. All right. Also, thank you to Market 22, formerly Bees Market. They are our local butcher. And they have all the fresh meats and
seafood.
seafood. My goodness, you need to go check them out. Also, thank you to This and That Vinyl. They do a lot of our shirts and things here that we put our logo on. So we appreciate them too. All right, told y'all we'd get to some stuff. I want to go ahead and dive into the Alabama High School Athletic Association. They came out on, I think it was Sunday or Monday, and they have new classifications.
Big change.
Big change. Now, public and private schools are going to be separated into their own classifications. So, public schools are going to be 1A through 6A, and they're going to have classifications for private schools, which is private AA and private single A. And coaches and parents and everybody is really not liking this. They're really kind of up in arms about it.
Well, Chilton County High School is in a really tough region. Really tough.
And it says here, this article specifically, there was a football coach at Mountain Brook since 2006. So he's been there 20 years. Chris Yeager, he says, it's a little bit of chaos right now. And he said the private schools are concerned about the format because that coach has around 80 players on his roster. And they're going to be playing teams that have 40. And the kids are going to be playing offense and defense throughout the whole game because they don't have as many players. Yeah.
Teams.
And that's the thing, though. On these smaller teams, that's what happens. Maplesville has to do that. You know, they're a smaller team, and they had to. Coach said
they do it quite well.
Yeah, they do. Now, the director, Heath Harmon, he says that schools are going to benefit from the restructured playoff system. I've seen some of the schools, one of them in St. Clair County, which is where my heart is because that's where my kids went to school. They, my two middle ones, they went to school from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade at St. Clair County and Odenville. That's all the same.
We passed right by Odenville this on Monday. I'll tell you about it later.
It says that here it's a great opportunity, and what this does is provide more opportunity for our programs throughout the state. I don't know that. I saw the teams that they have to play, and I was like,
Chilton County is just in an incredible region.
Yeah.
I mean, that includes Homewood High School, Mountain Brook, Ramsey, Pelham, Helena, Chelsea, and Calera. It's going to be tough to get some wins out of that bunch when you play that schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, so, they cut it down from 7 classifications down to 6. And so it's, I can see why some coaches and why it's a little chaotic right now, because it's a big change. Go from 7 down to 6. The reason that they did that, I think, Trish, more than anything, is that there were so few teams that were considered 7A. You had Hoover and Central High School out of Phoenix City. You had
they had to go.
There's only a few of them, relatively few, and so that's why Hoover would play 2, sometimes 3 games from out-of-state teams. Just don't have that many options, unless there's a bunch down, cluster down in Mobile, cluster around, Birmingham and everything, but. Chilton County has got a really tough region, so they just got to step up and get their team together and see what they can do. See how got to compete. Now, really things didn't really change too much for Maplesville, Verbena, Billingsley. They're in the same region next year, and then Isabella and Thorsby are basically in the same region. I was thinking Thorsby was 3A last year. But now they're being reclassified to 2A. But again, remember, all they did was just take away a classification. So
everybody probably just went backwards one.
That's right.
Yeah.
They were
What
3A,
you already were,
and now they're 2A. I mean, I guess it matters as far as the teams that you might play, but you still got to put that team on the field and find a way to win. Last year in Isabella and Thorsby's region included south side of Selma, who was just a prolific offensive team and may have upset a few people the way they ran up you could argue that they ran up the score on a couple of teams, and really once you're up, 40 points, you probably need to put your eighth graders in.
Yeah.
Sometimes the eighth graders are better than the other teams, starters.
And that happened with Maplesville,
That's
too.
what I was kind of going to say. Finish right.
They ended up having to put their, younger players in because they didn't want to. But then the younger players were still
very good.
Very good.
And
it really
well
didn't offer
coached,
much
and
opportunity for the other team, unfortunately. Because you have to think about they shut out a majority of the. I think so. They played. I forget how many games they played. 14 or something like that. I think they shut out like
10.
10 or 11.
I think it was
teams.
10 shutouts, including like 7 in a row, if I remember right.
Insane.
Yeah, that's
insane.
That's very impressive. They had given up 14 in the first half against who did they play in the championship? I can't even remember right now. But
I've already drawn a blank.
I know it.
It was a big deal too because they played them last year.
They
and
did.
Lost.
But anyway, whatever they're called,
Or the year before.
they had 14 in the first half, and it didn't look like they were going to score. And then against Maplesville's second team or third team, they did score right at the end of the game. If you remember, I think they had 20. So that was, I think, the most points they gave up all year. But at that point, they're 3 touchdowns ahead. What do they care?
Yeah, what do they care?
They're about to get that blue map trophy.
Yep. I guess we'll have to see. I mean, a lot of folks are up in arms about it, and they're mad about it because they haven't seen how it's going to work. It may work. I don't know. I saw some of the, teams in the new classification. I have a big old question mark about it. But look, these guys that do this, they kind of know what they're doing, and I have to just go on faith that there's a reason, there's a method to the madness a little bit.
Well, I don't know if you saw what Mayor Price did. He has committed the city of Clanton to improve the youth football here in Clanton.
Really?
With the idea, I think, he's had a couple boys, I think, come through and play, some really good athletes. But anyway, he basically has said, we're going to partner with youth football here in Clanton, and we're, besides just providing the field and, practice facilities and stuff like that, and try to help them develop into develop football players.
Well, that's what it's meant for. That's what the youth leagues are meant for. You're supposed
absolutely, they are.
To help you build, because that's what, and so I know I'll reference St. Clair County a lot, but let me just give you an example.
That's okay.
Because that's just where I'm from. But we had the Odenville Youth League there. So we had a pretty good group of boys that all played youth football together. And luckily we had some dads that had played football in their day and had done really well at it. So because this is a volunteer organization
right.
there. So they were building these boys up and teaching them how to play and all the things. So then then they would partner with the high school. The high school coach would sometimes come down and let some of the bigger boys, play and teach and have little camps and clinics
right.
with them to kind of show them, and so by the time that team got up in the senior high, they were a pretty good team.
That's right.
They were killing it. So that is a phenomenal idea to do that. You want that. You want that partnership. That is definitely something that probably should have been done way before now, but sometimes youth league is looked at as it's just something fun for the kids, and it is, but at the same time you take those, every opportunity you have for it to be a teaching moment, you should grab it. And, you know, that's definitely the way you help them develop the skills when they're younger. Now, honestly, not a fan of football before a certain age. And some doctors will tell you it's not good because, one, they get worn out by the time they're in college. They're already in high school and college. They're already having surgeries because, you know, they're injured and things like that. But at the same time, boys need some exercise. You need to run it out of them.
Well, take that. That's exactly right.
So, yeah.
But I think that's a great idea that he
idea.
has. And I think just speaking about it, bringing it to the surface, make people more aware of it. I think that's a really good idea, and I look forward to seeing, you know, if it helps improve the football team. And I forgot to mention Jefferson High School, of course. They basically just were reclassified as a 4A, but they're playing the same team, Demopolis, and I mean they have a pretty tough schedule as well. It's been tough for several years for our larger schools. They haven't had much success of late. But anyway, it's happened, and the private schools, I don't know how it affects Chilton County Christian Academy up there in Jemison as well. But they play like 7-man football anyway, so
Yeah.
I don't know that it's going to affect them a whole lot. It's probably not that many teams that do that anyway. But at the same time, they are a private school.
Yep. All right, it is 7:33. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the airlines. There's a lot. There's a
Oh, yeah.
whole lot going on in the
just
airlines right now.
Laughed when I read that story.
And we're gonna talk about that. And as somebody who flies typically at least once a year,
Had you ever been on that airline before they made these changes? Okay.
yeah, I had. So
I didn't like it.
y'all stay with us. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa Mike broadcasting live from the Clayton Tractor Studios. We'll be right back.
Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
Are you tired of big box stores where you're just another number? You deserve better. Furniture that's built to last from people who treat you like family. At Farmers Home Furniture in Clanton, we do things differently. As an employee-owned company, we take pride in personal service. We'll listen to what you need and help you find the perfect piece for your home from trusted, top-notch name brand. Whether it's a cozy sofa for movie nights, a dining set built for real life, or a recliner that melts the stress away, we've got you covered. Don't settle for less. Experience the difference at Farmers Home Furniture in Clanton, where you're not just a customer, you're family. We are back. The time is 7:36. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Therese and Mike broadcasting live from the Clinton Tractor Studios. Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, Amanda. Good to see you on here. Thank you for watching and listening. Susan, good morning. Thank you for watching and listening. So we told you we'd get to the airlines. My goodness.
Our friends at Southwest
Airlines, they're messing it all up. Let me just tell you. They say they're doing it to be in line with what the other airlines are doing. But I'm going to tell you, some of this stuff I'm not a fan of. I don't know how it's going to work. And so I usually go see my sister in Tampa, and I usually fly because the drive is just more than I want to do by myself because I usually go by myself. Now, and hubby, if he goes with me, he wants to drive. He's out on flying. And I'm fine driving if I have somebody with me. But if then I don't want to move. I don't want to fool with it. I just want to let me hop on a plane, let me pick me up from the airport, and then, life is good. Well, Southwest has probably been one of the easiest airlines to deal with. And they've always, as a general rule, been one of the cheaper airlines. You don't really have to, maybe $100 less in your tickets, which is $100 less.
Hey, that's $100.
And you got like your carry-ons were free. You didn't have to pay to do all that. Well, Southwest decided they're going to shake things up, and they are now going to introduce assigned seats, where before you could just you would sign in, you would register early. They call it early bird. Sometimes you could pay to do the early bird, or like the second that it opens, you go in and you just register that got your ticket in there, and it would put you, depending on how quick you were, you got A, B, or C. Yep. C was the last to board every time, So you wanted to be in at least B because you could kind of have your choice of seats. Well, they don't do that anymore. So I noticed that when I went on American, because I couldn't get the flight that I wanted on Southwest, I just didn't have it available. American, you have assigned seats, and it really wasn't that bad.
Delta, same way.
I mean, it wasn't that bad. I mean, you knew exactly what seat you were in, and you went to it, and you didn't have to worry about looking, can I get in and climbing all, hey, and then, nope, you can't sit here kind of thing. It was just, this is my seat, and that's it. And so the way they're going to do it, you're not going to line up in A, B, or C. You're just going to go.
You get your assigned seat.
Get your
just like
assigned
you do with
seat,
the other.
yeah.
They've basically done away with all of the
no more open
perks
seating
that they used to sell people to fly their airlines on. They used to let you check your bags for free. Now they're charging. They're going to charge. I mean, of course, the other airlines been doing it for a decade or more. Charging baggage fees and stuff like that. So, but they've done that. They're going to the assigned seating. I used to fly a lot for several years, and for me it was a lot. Probably not for others, travelers, but it was too chaotic for me, Therese. I didn't like that I was just in a section. I was in the first section, and there was 30 of us, and you had to go in there and find a seat. But if you were in the first few sections, you could get a good seat. By the way, are you an aisle person or a window?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care.
I prefer the aisle. I've evolved from a window person to the aisle. Get that extra little space.
I don't want to be in the middle.
But
there's something about being in the middle but I feel like I'm like this. So I'm not, I like to be, I either like to have that open space next to me, or I want the window so I can get turned up and take my little nap.
I will say this, what Southwest, part of their announcement, I guess, or whatever you call it, whenever they put it out, was they included talking about that, but I forget how they worded it. They didn't call anybody large or anything, but they basically said larger people will need to buy 2 tickets.
2 tickets, 2 seats. If you don't fit...
That's right. No, you can't encroach. I think they said on your guest.
You have to fit comfortably in the seat.
I've been encroached on so many
have
times.
too.
It is just like, oh my gosh, please.
And I'm battling for the armrest usually.
Oh yeah. Well,
I had one guy. He sat like this, had his arms on both, and I literally I was leaned over like this, practically in the aisle, like all the way in
hurting
the aisle,
your back.
hurting my back, trying to give him room. He was the rudest person I've ever, sat next to, and it wasn't even really that he was large. I mean, he was a big guy, but he was like, it was just that he was rude about it. He just, he just thought that he was at home and he was just making himself comfortable, and darn you, the rest of you,
Well, Susan says that she's never flown.
Susan, really?
And Ricky says that Southwest was great if you were tall, you were in the A group.
Yeah.
And he recommends that you sit by the door over the wing. I think that's for turbulence.
I end up.
There's a little bit less turbulent. I read that the other day too. I believe.
I feel
Ricky.
like that's where I end up most of the time, even not by choice, but just by happenstance. I end up right there, and by one of the exits where they want you to be the leader. And if something happens, you got to know how to get that door open and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't want to know all that. I don't put it on me.
I'd kind of like to be right at the door.
What
if
if
I've got a
mess
shot
up?
to get out, I'd like to be first. Yes,
What if I mess
I'll
up?
take care of that door. I saw this one of the conferences I went to years ago. Teresa was talking about airline safety. This safety. This guy was talking about security and all these things, and he was talking Ricky as well about where to sit on the plane, the best place, and he recommended that you take on the duties of getting the door open, because then you control it. You know what I mean? You're right there at the door. If you have to get out, you can get out. I mean, I don't want to think about it,
Right,
but
unless
at
you
the same
panic
time,
and you can't.
yeah, it could happen. But
I'm afraid I like to think that I'm level-headed, but I think in a situation like I would probably just absolutely shut down. I really do think I would do that.
Well, hopefully you could still, follow commands. Hopefully not everybody would shut down, you know.
Right.
But at the same time, he was talking about when you open the door, he said a lot of the airlines say, take the door and put it to the inside. He says, heck no. He says, take that door and throw it outside. He says, throw it in the ocean, or on the, get it out. So that way it's out of the way. You got more room for people instead of a big heavy door. And I thought, I can still remember that. I don't know how I'd react, in the moment, but.
Yeah, he said. Ricky says over the wing by the window, you can stretch your legs, and that's the area we're talking about. Susan said I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express one time.
I saw that.
Susan, she ain't never been nowhere.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, I don't know that this is gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be better or not. I know that now there are no baggage free. You got to pay for everything.
Yep.
I think the carry-on is even. You're gonna pay for the carry-on too. So, which I've always done the carry-on because if I pack right, like my sister taught me how to do, I can get all my stuff in a carry-on, and then I don't have to worry about them losing it or having to go down to baggage claim and get my stuff, which is a whole ordeal. I don't like doing that, but I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. And I'm hoping hubby will be able to go with me when I go in May, so because I don't want to have to fly. I'd like for him to be able to go with me and have more fun. That way.
Exactly. You get to watch the road while he drives, right?
No.
You drive?
I have to drive.
Oh, you drive?
Hubby has this thing where when he's driving a long distance, he just falls asleep.
Oh, yeah, that would be bad.
He's just driving. All of a sudden, I'll look over and he's doing this. I'm like, okay. I said he did it like 2 or 3 times. I went, all right, pull over. I'm done. You're scaring me to death. I'll just drive.
Whoa.
I'll just drive.
Oh.
I'll just do it. Good morning, Roro. Yeah, I can't. That scares me to death. I'd rather be in control in that situation. I thought about, being able to get a nap or something. I can't nap while he's driving because I'm afraid he's going to take a nap while he's driving.
Yeah, I can see that could be a problem.
Chance.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. So yeah. No. Now we can go like across town from Calera to the lake or something, when we
Yeah.
go to the lake at
Short trips,
Logan Martin,
he
short
can
trips
make
like
it.
that, hour long. After about an hour, the eyelids start getting heavy for him, and I'm just like, all right, let me just take over, and I'll just drive the rest of the way. So, yeah, it makes me way too nervous. Plus, he'll tell you this. He is a road rager. Like, he gets so mad with other drivers around him doing just weird stuff, and he doesn't do well. And even though I do a little bit, I do better than him. So it's better for me if I just drive. But the next thing that's going on, and this is not just an airline, this is a whole airport thing. So the TSA is now saying, and starting February 1st, so you've got a couple of days, not many.
Yeah, today's the 28th.
You have to have they call it the real ID. Alabama calls it the Star ID. You have to have that or your passport to be able to fly. If you don't, you have to go in, register, show your alternate identification, and pay a $45 fee to fly.
Well, they have I forget what it's called. I haven't flown in a couple years now, several years actually. They have two different avenues to go through the TSA. One is the people that don't pay an extra fee, but if you pay an extra fee, you could go through a shorter line. I forget what that was called. Pre-check. Maybe it was pre-check.
Yeah.
I think that was what it was called.
Yeah.
But anyway, you could go through that. But this is something different. This is on top of that. This is just for personal identification. For years ago, Trish, they had been publicizing, letting you know you had to have the Star ID, you had to do this, and everything. It was real big in the airports, because that's where it was going to affect people the most, or at least I guess it does.
And then COVID hit, so they extended the deadline.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they
I'd forgotten
did.
that
They
already.
They had
Okay.
extended the deadline.
Clear
and
check.
Here,
Ricky says, yeah, that's
6
right.
months ago, I think it's been 6 months, maybe 5 months
Another
ago.
way to do it.
I had to go get my Star ID. And everybody was trying to get it at the same time I was. And you talk about an ordeal. It's probably been 6 months now. A whole ordeal trying to get my Star ID. Because the driver's license people, they prefer you to make an appointment. And let me tell you, it takes a minute. And if you go, there's one person working over at Shelby County where I had to go because I live in Shelby County. Well, I tried to go here, and I ended up going here because I was trying to get some other stuff done in Shelby County, so I was trying to do all in one whack. I ended up getting my Star ID here, but it was still kind of an ordeal. I went, and you're in line, and if you leave, you lose your place in line. So they go on their lunch break. They're going to take their 12 to 1. And they won't give you you got to draw it, you got to pick a number, you go in there and get your number, and you got to keep that number, and then when they go to lunch, you got to turn that number in, and then when they come back from lunch, you got to go in and get another number. If they don't call your number,
start over.
You got to start over. And I was like, when will you be back from lunch? He said, well, we take an hour. And I was like, okay. Me and about 5 other people sat there for that whole lunch hour waiting on them to get back so we could stay in line and go get, because you had to, if you were sitting in the chair, you were first in line. So we were the first ones to go in and get our number. And in the middle of that, they're also doing the road test for people who are getting their driver's license and people who are getting their permits. So you're in there, they got one person working, and you're in there with everybody trying to do everything. And it takes forever.
Wonder how it's going to be, if that'll change. I'm sure it will change some with the new courthouse being built.
I mean, it should.
I
would hope,
will
because
they move out there?
Small.
I assume they will.
It is really small down there.
I know.
Like that room, you got
voter
2
registration
people can fit
is
in
all
it.
right there. I've been in there a few times, and they got benches out in the hallway.
Yeah, that's where I sat. And I wasn't moving. I told Baden, I said, well, I'm going to be here for a minute.
In the dungeon of the
Took me
courthouse,
2.5 hours to get my
Still
Star
in the
ID.
basement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Or the lower floor, lowest floor.
Yeah, 2.5 hours to get that. So, but I don't think it's that now because the deadline was ending for you to be able to get them in time for, I think, summer break. You know, if you're planning on going.
What did you have to do to get the Star ID? I can't remember what I had to do.
Well,
because I have
here's
it.
the thing.
I forgot the process. If you remember it.
I got married. And I had to have my Social Security changed with my new last name, and I also had to have my Star ID changed with my new last name. Well, the driver's license says, I need your Social Security card with your new last name. Social Security Division said, I need your driver's license that shows your new last name. And I said, one of y'all are going to have to give because I can't. I have to have one to get the other.
Right.
And the guy at the Social Security office felt bad for me because I had every other form of ID I could find, and he just went ahead and did it.
Yeah.
So then I went back, and I had to have.
Did he get fired? Do you know?
No, I hope not. I showed him my birth certificate, my marriage certificate, my marriage license, certified copy, and my Social Security number. And I had to have one other for like a W-2 or something like that, showing my address or with my last name, my new last name. So it was a whole
water bill.
Oh yeah, it was a whole ordeal. I was like, my gosh, they require that for a driver's license, but they want you to just be able to anybody can vote. I mean, that makes no sense to me.
Oh boy. That's a sore subject.
It is, but don't get me started.
I know, but it's ridiculous.
Got started on my own soapbox argument.
A lot of arguments are like that. They're just completely without merit, but yet they do it with a straight face. You know, look right into the camera and say, "Oh yeah, this is a good idea.
This is a great idea."
Let people vote without identifying themselves. But you know, here we have to show our ID in Alabama. So that's the way
we do. Every time I've been, I've had to show my ID.
Yep.
They look at my name on the list and they match it to my address and my ID, and then they give me my little sheet and my little pen and tell me to go do my dots, fill in my dots.
But I couldn't remember exactly what we had to do to get that Star ID, but I knew it was something for travel, so I got it the next time my license renewed.
I mean, you can use your passport, but passports are expensive. I was going to get one.
They expire too.
And it's like what, $150 or something like that to get, or maybe $200 to get a passport.
Yeah, I think they're very expensive.
I don't understand why.
We went on a cruise a couple 3 years ago and had to have a passport. And,
luckily, the cruise I went on, I didn't have to have a passport, but I had to show them everything like I showed for my Star ID.
Folks down here at Clanton Post Office took care of us, though.
Oh yeah, I saw some people in there getting theirs one day when I went to mail something.
They did a good job. I mean, they got it turned around faster than they thought it would take, or they told us it would take, and so we were set for the cruise. We didn't have that to worry about.
That's good.
'Cause sometimes people wait to the last moment, and sometimes they don't give themselves enough time.
I'm probably that person that waits till the last moment.
I see.
For sure, I'm the one that does. You know, one thing, we were talking about age earlier, and I saw this story, and this is sad because this just shows where we are and this is not blaming anyone political figure in any way. It's just the state of how it is. Our economy it's bass backwards, like you used that term the other day.
Yeah.
The way we're doing things is kind of weird. And so there was this lady. She was in Florida. She lives in Florida. And another lady had gone into the store, and she saw this elderly lady working, pushing buggies, stocking stuff, like. She said, and it just really upset me. It made me really sad to see this. She said, I know the lady had to be in her 80s or something.
Turns out.
She was 92.
92.
And they were like, why? She's like, why are you working? She says, because I have to. She said, my Social Security does not cover everything I have. She said, I have rent, I have utilities, I have car insurance, I have all these things, and my Social Security just doesn't cover enough of it. Now, I don't know about anything else other than she's 92 years old and still working to supplement her income. That is wrong on every level of humanity.
It's amazing. My dad's 90. I can't imagine him having to go to a job. Or,
It's...
pretty...
I think about that, and I think about how my grandmother was 89 years old. When she passed away, I couldn't see her working. There's no way. I can't imagine at 92 still having to work and not being able to enjoy what you have left of your life. Where are we that she can't be taken care of? I mean, that is so wild to me. I don't understand it. And it looks from all appearances that she's fiercely independent. So she's not asking anybody for nothing. Well, this lady said, I can't stand around and watch a 92-year-old suffer like that. So she started a GoFundMe, and she's already raised a few $1,000s for the lady.
Over $5,000, it
Yeah.
said. And got to get her floors fixed in her mobile home, her trailer home.
So hopefully some kind-hearted neighbors are going to help her with that. I mean,
Trish,
that just makes me so
when I think of
sad.
that, at a situation, in a place not near me, although GoFundMe is as near as your phone, I guess. I think of someone who is in need of assistance, and yet we are spending billions of dollars as a nation to take care of people who are not residents of this country, citizens of this country. And you go, that's why I said bass backwards, because it's like it
is.
Yeah, I can't wrap my mind around it sometimes. And because it's not like you're just helping out a couple people. You're helping out literally millions of people like that. And you just go, gosh, that's a lot. I mean, we pay so many taxes as a nation, as a working class. And then you got this lady working because she has to meet, and you're like, well, maybe if she could get, a few $100 more every month and not give it to somebody who, came here illegally. And I don't mean to pick on that, but that's where my mind goes, because I know, because she said her Social Security doesn't go far enough. Well, that was, designed not necessarily for someone to depend on 100% for their only fund, income fund when they retire. But still, you just go, man, I just wish that we could get things straight. But, with us being basically 50-50 right now as a nation, that's not going to happen.
Yep.
So we have to just make the best of what we can.
Well, Ricky says he just checked, and as of last night, the GoFundMe for that lady had gone up to $60,000.
Golly, wow.
Good. That should help her. That should help her.
Maybe she can figure out a way
She
not to
can
have to work.
Not have to work after that.
Of
Now,
course, some people like to stay busy.
The only thing is,
And then
will
maybe that
Social
helps
Security
her
cut her
give
because
her
she got
something
that
to live
much?
for, more to live for.
Do you know?
I'm sorry?
Will Social Security think of that as income and then stop her?
I'm not sure. It could be just viewed as a gift, although some of that I would think could be taxable. Geez, I don't know. I've never donated through GoFundMe or visited a GoFundMe page. Have you?
I
don't.
say that one time.
I've never went to or visited a GoFundMe page.
I have. I've donated.
I don't know if that's what that
But I don't
means. I don't know if that's
how-
be income. But even if it were, 60,000, a lady like that probably wouldn't pay hardly too much tax on it. Besides, she could probably raise that for her. But it sounds like she's got a very a lot of folks recognize her now that maybe had just passed by her before. So
Well, here's a.
maybe they'll
of course,
keep their eye on her, and help her out.
Here's something to. She didn't look 92.
Is that
Lady
right?
said, I
Is
thought
that right?
she was in
I
her
didn't
80s.
I didn't see
No,
a picture.
92. So all right, it's 8:01. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, let's see. Oh, got to talk about.
We've got some SEC basketball scores I want
Yes,
to talk
and
about.
we got to talk about what Mickey D's is bringing back.
Oh,
Y'all are
yeah,
gonna-
yeah,
Y'all gonna flip
yeah.
out. So
I know
y'all
my
stay
son
with
will
us.
be happy.
You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Mike broadcasting live from the Clinton Tractor Studio. We'll be right back.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you. Whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss, Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984.
We are back. The time is 8:04. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Therese and Mike broadcasting live from the Clanton Tractor Studio. I want to check something real quick. Well, I can do it later. But so Susan says she's out of here. Bye. Thanks for watching and listening.
I was just thinking, when you let us in on after the break there, that I was thinking about yesterday, the TMT.
Yeah, you liked that, huh?
I did. That was so funny how y'all were, y'all played off that the whole show.
She got. I forgot. I did forget.
One time
I forgot to let her do it, and she sat over there, and she was like,
she expected it, and she got it after that, though, didn't she?
She did. I had to make sure.
Yeah, she did. Good old Taylor.
So we're going to talk about some basketball scores, but I have to tell y'all about something that, I got to find my page, that McDonald's is doing. They are bringing back something, and I love it when we get, throwback stuff because it makes me so nostalgic. I'm an 80s kid. I grew up in the most pivotal time of my life was in the 80s. Let's put it that way.
I'm 70s.
So McDonald's is going to bring back a popular Happy Meal toy from the 80s. Yep. This Happy Meal toy was first introduced in 1987. And starting, I think it was yesterday, You can get the Happy Meal that includes toys similar to the Transformers. They're called the Changeables.
The Changeables. Yeah, they couldn't call them Transformers.
Nope, they have to do the same thing unless they want to pay a whole bunch of money to use that, and they don't because the Happy Meal would be a kid's Happy Meal would be $10 if you did the Transformers, so you can't do that. But I think that's pretty cool. They're calling it vintage.
I know. I hate to see that they call it
going vintage and bringing back the popular Changeables. So when you go and get a Happy Meal for your young'un, that's going to be the toy that's in there. And I remember, see, I'm 6 years older than my brother, so he was probably, 11 or 12. And so that was his thing. If we ever got to go to McDonald's and he got the Happy Meal, he was going to get that toy. He was going to make sure.
Yeah, they're pretty good marketers, aren't they?
They are. And here's the thing. They did those glasses that had Grimace and Ronald McDonald and the Hamburglar, and I wanted to go to McDonald's so that I could get those glasses. We had a whole cabinet full of those. That's what we drank out of for the longest time.
All right, who's got the hamburger glass? Bring it back in here.
Grimace and Hamburglar were my favorites. Yeah, I love that. And remember too, you would go. And they would do the little puppet, and it was just like it went all the way over your hand and in the thumb, and it was like Grimace on the thumb, on the handprint.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
It was just, I don't know. We thought that was the best stuff.
My son was born in '87, so yeah, I don't know that I would have gotten him those back then, but he was a big McDonald's fan, looking for the Happy Meal. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, yeah, hamburger fries. So what? Where's that prize?
Where's that prize? Yeah. Auburn, she loved McDonald's. She called it Donald's. And then but she loved Wendy's back then. Do you know why she loved Wendy's back then?
Where's the beef?
Well, that's part of it, but they had the hot bar back then.
Oh, I do remember they had a hot bar.
89 and 90 specifically, I remember for sure, because her grandmother and her aunts, they would get together. Her grandmother would keep her that day, and all the aunts would get together, and they'd take her to the hot bar, and they had the tacos and the baked potatoes.
I do remember that.
All that stuff on the hot bar, and she loved it. That's what she wanted to do. And she would come back, and she would say, because she'd know the commercial, "Where's the beef?" And she'd say, "Where's the beef?" But yeah, I mean, I just remember those days.
For some reason, I think that woman's name on the commercial was Clara.
I think it was.
Where's the beef?
Yeah.
I don't know how I remember that.
They open up
other than seeing it,
the commercial. They open
times.
it up, and the beef is like this small on the burger. Which that's where we are now.
Yeah.
We're like the burgers.
They're all Crystal burgers now.
They used to be a lot bigger than they are now. And you open it up, and it barely covers the bun at all. And you're like, oh man. But yeah. Well, yeah, it is. You're right. Ricky says Happy Meal's still going to cost you $6 or $7. I think it's I think it's closer to $6. But
yeah, you know, depends on what you get, of course. But yeah, they've gone up and up. And, they don't really care anymore if you're an adult and you want a Happy Meal because that's all the food you want to eat.
Yeah, used to you couldn't get one.
That's right. You had to be 12 and under, or, something like that. But I don't even think they do that anymore. It's just like, if you want it,
I'll just say I'm going to get a Happy Meal. And okay, your total's blah, blah.
Exactly.
The only thing is they put the and I don't mind it. They put the apples in there, and I'm okay with that. I'll eat some fries and apples. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
That's right.
And while we're talking vintage type stuff, yesterday was the anniversary of a sitcom that came on. It was the 50th anniversary of Laverne and Shirley.
Oh my goodness.
Can you believe that?
That was a spin-off show?
Yeah, of Happy Days.
That's right.
Yeah. You know what else was also a spin-off of Happy Days? Very, very popular show. It was on for years.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Well, I probably will when you say it.
Mork and Mindy.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, remember Mork came on Happy Days.
He did?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, and then the next thing you know, you had a show called Mork and Mindy, and that was a great show. That's Robin Williams got his start there. He was hilarious.
Oh, he was.
Funny man.
He was. He was like the king of the improvisation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they the scripts were just suggestions to him.
Yeah.
He didn't. It was nothing. He was just going to go off where he was led.
In Good Morning Vietnam, he did that.
Yeah, a lot of these.
A lot of that stuff, he
especially
improv'd.
comedians, they do that. It's just like that's just the way they operate.
They told it in Good Morning
Like
Vietnam.
Bill Murray.
Yeah, they told him to
is the
do
same way.
something, and he just did it his way. Good Morning Vietnam,
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
that was just kind of he was improv. Did you know that when Christopher Reeve had his accident, and he was in the hospital, and he gotten the diagnosis that he was going to be permanently paralyzed?
Right.
That Robin Williams dressed up in a lab coat and stuff and came in and said that he was there to do the well check, and he needed to perform a colonoscopy, and he was putting the gloves on, and he was making Christopher Reeve laugh. And the son told that story, and he said, I just remember being in there and seeing the smile on my mom and dad's face.
Laughter is the best medicine, huh?
Yep.
That's the one prescription.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, he was
But
really
yeah,
talented. But no, Laverne and Shirley, 50 years ago, they worked, in a beer factory, didn't they? Weren't they
yeah.
on the assembly line in
Yeah.
a beer factory in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
And let's see, they had bowl, they bowled, and I remember they
The
had their
bowling
little
league.
poodle skirts, they wore a lot.
Laverne always had the L.
That's
on
right,
her-
the L.
on her shirt.
Yeah.
What I got tickled was Lenny and Squiggy, because they were just like greasy upstairs neighbors that didn't stop. They were always chasing after the girls.
Oh, they
you
were.
know?
They were
but they were-
character actors,
Yeah,
right?
funny stuff.
That Michael McKean, I think his name was. I guess he was Squiggy. Was that the tall guy?
No.
Squiggy was the short one, so Lenny then. But he really went on and had a tremendous acting career.
He did.
He did a lot of different things.
But he did directing and stuff too.
Oh, I'm sure he did. I just know him best from
amazing
what I
to
see
me.
on the camera, I guess.
When I see names that used to be actors in sitcoms and they're behind the camera directing and producing now, I'm like, wow.
I know.
That's amazing, because to
Yep.
me, I don't know which is harder, directing, producing, or acting.
I was watching something the other day, and I did not realize that Adam Sandler was doing a lot of directing, and not just comedies.
No, some dark stuff.
I was like, wow, I didn't realize, that he was so deep into it. But I guess he's evolved and doing what he wants when you get to that position, I guess.
I guess you can. All right, let's talk some basketball. We were talking youth sports earlier and
I know.
high school football. Now we're going to get into some college basketball.
Well, in the SEC last night, you saw Alabama, or if you saw, Alabama dominated Missouri 90-64, which was a good win for the Tide, because they had
Wow.
lost on Saturday. They had lost to Tennessee, and I don't know, Teresa, if you've heard about the controversy going on the Alabama basketball team.
No.
They had a former player. I think I'm saying this name right. Charles Bediako.
Okay.
And he had played for the Tide for 2 or 3 years, I think. And then he went pro. Well, I don't think he's ever played in the NBA, but the NBA has a minor league baseball, but league, but it's the basketball league. It's sponsored by Gatorade. They call it the G League.
Okay.
Birmingham has a team.
I did not know that.
Squadron, I think, is their name. Anyway, they're like a farm team for the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA. But anyway,
Okay.
Bediako played in that G League. I don't even remember or know what team he played for. But he was in his second year, and now because he left school early, these guys, once they get to be 20, I think, they have to have at least 1 year of school, or maybe 19, because they don't want, the NBA doesn't draft people from high school anymore. They used to draft high schoolers, believe it or not. But anyway, Bediako, he played in this G League, they call it, for a couple years. But he had some eligibility. He has 1 more year of eligibility left in the NCAA for college. Well, normally, or it used to be, before NIL, the NCAA was strictly amateur. Mm-hmm. No athletes got paid other than their scholarship, their room and board, whatever.
Which is the way it should be.
Yeah, I agree. But, a few years ago that changed. And now Alabama appealed or filed papers with the NCAA to say we want Charles to be able to come back and play this year immediately on our team right now. Now, they've already played 20 games, so they only have about 15 games left, but they want this. He's a 7-footer, 7 feet tall now.
God,
so
dog.
He's he runs and jumps like a deer. He's really a great athlete. But he came back, and the NCAA said no. He's forfeited his eligibility because he's taking money as a professional. Well, what's the difference with the NIL now? It's just that line. We talked about that with the Olympics the other day. That line is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much gone. So, yeah, Alabama went before a federal judge who is a University of Alabama Law School graduate, a donor to the program, and he gave him what's called a TRO, a temporary restraining order against the NCAA to bar this guy from playing. So he actually. It obviously was in the works. It wasn't something that just happened because we just heard about it.
Right.
But they'd been working on it, I guess, for a while. But he played against Tennessee, and I liked I forget what coach it was in the SEC. They're like, "Well, coach, are you concerned about facing professionals, on the Alabama team?" And he says, "No, we'll beat them anyway." That was just his confidence. And Tennessee, it wasn't Tennessee coach Rick Barnes, but Tennessee beat Alabama with Bediako. So Tide got a big win last night over Missouri. The funny part is that I think there are now 6 teams in the league that have 4 wins and 3 losses. So, it is really thick in the middle. These teams are beating each other up.
Yeah, it could go either way.
Right. And you got to feel sorry for Oklahoma. Oklahoma lost again, a very close game to Arkansas last night. A couple of calls there at the end didn't go their way.
I know how that feels as an Auburn fan.
But Arkansas won. They're tied for second with Vanderbilt in the league. Texas A&M has the week off, or at least they didn't play. They don't play midweek. They play Saturday. But anyway, Oklahoma has just. I think they're 1-7 in the conference, and they have had the worst luck. They had against Saturday against Missouri, at the buzzer, Missouri guy hit a 3-pointer and beat them 88-87.
Really?
But I don't know what's going on with Vanderbilt right now, but they are on a tear through the league. Saturday, they beat Mississippi State by 32. And then last night, at home, they thrashed the Kentucky Wildcats, who is just really, have always been kind of the
really
the
good
banner team, right?
Them and Duke.
That's right. That's exactly right. And again, so tonight you have Texas playing at Auburn. Texas got a big win Saturday over Georgia. Auburn actually beat University of Florida, defending national champions, last Saturday. 76-67 was their first win in Gainesville since 1996. You were about 8 years old in 96, right? Okay.
No.
But some big games going on. Like I said, Texas is at Auburn, Tennessee's at Georgia, and Florida is at South Carolina tonight. So, SEC, still have the Texas A&M Aggies out front, but these other teams are just 2 games behind. They played 8 games, I think, out of an 18-game schedule, so it's a few games left.
All right.
That's your SEC update.
That's it. All right. It is 8:20. We're going to take a break, a little bit late. When we come back, I got to talk to you about something that traveled a really long way.
I read that.
You read that. It is a long way. And we'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Therese and Mike broadcasting live from the Clayton Tractor Studio. Stay with us.
Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mems Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
We are back. The time is 8:22. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio.
Like you said, we should just keep the camera rolling the whole time, no breaks.
Gosh.
It's fun around here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's when we really get going, is during the breaks. So I said before we went to break, something traveled a long way. So I think it was Monday. We were Taylor and I were talking about this shark that had traveled a long way. They tracked it with the tracker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it had gone, I mean, across the world, really.
Across the world. Some of them do.
Something else did too. Did you see this?
I did.
There was a person out of Weymouth, UK, who found in the ocean there a garbage can from Baldwin County, Alabama, specifically Fort Morgan, that apparently had traveled across the seas when Hurricane Sally came through Gulf Shores area in 2020. We're in 2026 now. So in September of 2020 is when that hurricane hit. So like 5.5 years ago total. This garbage can made it all the way to the across the Atlantic Ocean. You know how many miles that is?
Well, I do, because I read the story, but...
Yeah, almost 4,500 miles. 4,500 miles this garbage can went.
That's amazing.
And it said that even had barnacles in it. I mean, my gosh.
That's about 5,000
how they tracked it.
kilometers if you're keeping it score.
They looked up Baldwin County and, figured out, called the city and told them what they found, gave them the number off of it, and that's how they determined that it came from somebody's house that had been damaged in the storm. And so that, but here, that's the thing is... I hope they get their deposit back, that they had on that thing. I guess the thing that bothers me is that goes to show you the kind of trash that ends up in our waterways.
Have you seen those pictures of those floating trash forests, they call them? I mean, just all this plastic is bonded together, and it would be a monumental.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it is awful. It would be a monumental effort just to get it removed, and then what would you do with it once you removed it? Yeah, it's a real mess. But think about this garbage can, Trish. Now, if you know the geography, they're in the Gulf of America, right? Mm-hmm. That's what, of course, back then it was called
Gulf of Mexico, which I still call it that.
I know.
I'm sorry, I'm not changing it. It's stupid.
I'll change it. The Gulf of America, right there. And then, you have Florida and the Florida Keys, and you have the Caribbean islands, all of that right there at the Gulf. Mm-hmm. And that garbage can had to make it through all of that and not get hung up on any of those islands, get in
or hit by ships, busted up,
yeah,
or any
anything.
of that. It missed all of it.
And then, not only that, then it has to go quite a bit to the northeast from there to get to Weymouth or Weymouth or however they say it.
Weymouth, I don't know how.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know if I'm saying it right or not.
I love to hear
have
them
no idea.
talk, but to get all the way there, it's like, wow, that is a long way.
It is a long way. And it took it 5 years, 5.5 years to get there.
I know it. That is just.
I just thought that was a really cool story. I mean,
That's not but
from
just a
Gulf
couple miles,
Shores,
a
yeah.
day, I guess, really.
Gulf Shores to
2,000 days.
United Kingdom.
I know it.
That's wild.
That is wild.
So if you
Did-
fly that many miles, how long does it take?
they return
to
it?
fly it?
Oh,
No,
4,500?
he said it's in his
Oh,
backyard.
okay.
He said, he goes, it's in my backyard now. I guess he's gonna keep it just
Well,
because it's.
I think flying from like London to New York or London to Atlanta or something like that, it's about 5 hours.
Really?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Huh.
Now, see, 4,500 miles is, like I said, you have to go around the coast and through these islands and then way up, up the Atlantic. When you get to the Atlantic Ocean, we were talking about, I mentioned a cruise earlier. I can remember, I think I told you about, right there where the Atlantic meets the Gulf can really create some funky weather,
Yep.
some real dangerous weather, cruising weather. It's kind of like what we're seeing now, with the Gulf airs are meeting the Arctic winds, and that's where all that snow and
Yeah.
ice is coming from.
I just couldn't imagine. I would have probably, if I was that person, I would have just been like, what in the world is this, and how did it get here? That is just
I wonder what
crazy.
how it was marked. That they knew, or I guess they figured out at some point.
Well,
it had the
I saw
company's
it.
name on it.
I saw it when it was on its side, still on the beach. It kind of came up on the beach area, and it said, but it had Baldwin County on it.
Okay. Had the
Let's see.
picture on it.
9 to 10 hours from Mobile to the UK is on a flight. Is how long it would be. But Grape had sent me this.
Yeah, I was thinking, direct
Let
flight.
me see. He actually had a picture of it. Here it is. So this is, it said Baldwin County, Alabama on
I'll be
it.
darned.
So,
How about that?
Yeah, had, well, you're not going to be able to see it good because it's very, very faded. But
Trust us, it says
Baldwin
that.
County, Alabama. But it's a green garbage can, and you can see that it's on the, they have rocky beaches out there with
Yeah.
lots of pebbles and stuff.
Wear your
so-
shoes out there
yeah.
on the beach. Or at least I would.
But yeah, it has these little, they called them barnacles attached to it.
Long for the ride.
Along there hanging out.
We were talking about
yeah.
those mussels,
That's
yesterday
kind of what
about
these are, yeah.
the invasive species.
That's it.
those
That's the
mussels.
picture of it when how it.
What happened
Landed
to
up
the
on
what
the
happened to
beach.
the top of it?
Oh, the lid is, that probably blew off a long time ago. That's one of the things that we struggle with on these garbage cans is that the lid gets messed up, or sometimes the truck, when it puts the arms out to grab it, it'll hit
Oh yeah,
the can and
ours
punch
is
the-
in horrible shape.
Yeah, it'll punch it. So,
It'll need to be replaced soon. Just throw it in the trash truck, right?
yeah.
When you're done with it.
It is 8:30, Wednesday morning, cold. They said that as far as winter weather for us this weekend, pretty much the same chances as last weekend, only it's going to be clear. No, not any rain, but North Alabama may see some snow.
They got a lot of snow up
flurries,
there.
but it probably won't have any accumulation. So I don't think. While we may see it, kind of like what we did,
We got a light
Monday
dusting
morning,
Monday morning. We
it's
had a
not
light
gonna-
dusting in Jemison where we live.
according to them, not going to do anything. So I'm not worried. I've gotten where I'm so lazy though. I don't want to go anywhere or do anything on the weekends anymore. I like my house. I just want to stay in my house in my jammies.
Need to
And
rest.
that's a lot coming
recover.
from. I used to be a social butterfly. I mean, I was gone doing something all the time, and now it's like I can't even get out of my jammies.
I see a lot of
And I'm
posts,
at
that people say. I see a lot of posts that people say something like that. They're like, now I used to like to go out and stay out till midnight. Now 9 p.m. is the new midnight or something.
So I saw this. I see reels like this, and all the time. And my friend Amanda and I, she lives about an hour and a half from me. So for us to get together, it takes a lot of preparation, timing, and for the axis and everything. Gods have to align everything up. It has to be perfect.
Planets.
Because if something goes awry, then one of us, it's like, that's a long way. We'll just have to wait. Well, it's gotten to the point now where we'll make plans for like a Saturday afternoon to have brunch or something. And you always got to call, because the day before, I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. I've missed my girl. I can't wait to see you, and I want to, spend some time with you because I don't ever get to see you. Da 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 da. And then the morning of, hey, you still want to go? You still want to go? And both of us are like, I really got some stuff I need to do.
Yeah.
I've got, this is going on, that's going on, and we're just like, nobody gets their feelings hurt though. We don't get, upset about
You don't get worked up about it.
No, not at all.
Somebody changes the plans.
No, we understand because she's got custody of her grandbaby. And so whenever she gets to do anything, it's few and far between, but she never has a chance to get anything done. So when she doesn't have him, she feels like she needs to spend time getting things done. So
Right,
and
around
I
the
get
house,
it.
probably.
Yeah, and I'm not
Right.
mad about it at all.
I can relate to that. I sure can.
And I always say, man, we need to get together to my friends. We need to do something. We need to. But even when I go do trivia, when trivia's over at 9 o'clock, I'm yawning. I'm ready to go. And hubby, actually, the last couple of times that we've went, he's like, you ready to go? And I'm like, yeah, I'm tired. I get up at 4 in the morning. And he's, well, okay, he'll sing a song and he's going home like all. Normally,
Karaoke.
getting him out to do anything would be like trying to pull a tooth.
What does he sing? Country music or?
Yeah,
he
mostly,
does?
and
Okay.
sometimes he just other stuff too. But he's just really good.
Oh,
I used
good.
to sing a lot of karaoke. I don't sing hardly ever anymore. I just like listening to him. I sit here and tell him what songs to sing.
Oh, that's
this
worth
one,
the
do
price
that
of
one.
admission to go sometimes, It's just to hear some people that are really good and then others, they're working on it.
Well, we got treated to a lot of. This is not my favorite thing. So we do the trivia, and then the trivia's over at 9, and then they do karaoke from 9 to 11. Well, I think we made it to 11 one time, and that was like a year ago. And that was probably just because I just happened to be being okay with it. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll stay till they're done.
Right.
This past weekend, though, no. At 9 o'clock, I was like, are you going? He was like, I was going to sing a song. I said, well, pick your song out. Let's go. I
Go
was like,
sing. You never
figure
even
it
call
out.
me by
How
your
long
name,
ago?
and let's get out of here.
He's like, well, I just like 6 more people in front of me. And I went, oh. I was like, God,
Yeah.
everybody wanted to sing last Friday night. Well, they get these 2 up there, and they are singing show tunes, basically, from Broadway and stuff. And it's got all these little, like, do you want to build a snowman? They're talking to each other,
Yeah.
and they're acting it out, and then they're talking and singing, too. And I was like, what is going on right now? Like,
They're hoping the agent's out sitting in the audience. Sorry.
what is happening? But here I said something, and it was out of character for me to say it. But I guess it was just because I was tired, cranky, and ready to go. And hubby looked at me and he goes, well, at least they get up there. And I was like, okay, fair. All right, effectively shutting up right now. I'm
Yep,
going to be
exactly.
quiet because, because I was like, oh, my
Kinda
God,
nipped that
what are
in
we
the bud,
listening to?
didn't
We're
he?
not. And, I know what I said. Somebody was off key on another song. I was like, oh, they are way off key, so out of tune. Blah, blah, blah. He goes, well, at least they have the guts to get up there. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Shut me up already,
They would, in the old vaudeville days, they had the hook, the shepherd's hook. They would
Yeah, on
pull
the
the
Gong
person
Show, yeah.
off the stage if they weren't doing a good job. That's what would happen to me if I got up there.
Gong.
Although it might be pretty funny, people might enjoy that.
Remember the guy,
That's what I like about that. I just mentioned that, I guess, really, how funny, it
the
is.
Gong Show?
No, just a karaoke in general.
Oh, yeah. Well, remember the Gong Show, the guy with the paper bag over his head?
Oh, yeah.
He was
the masked comedian or something they called him.
I don't remember what they called him, but it was cracking me up. And I think finally at one point he took the
bag off.
The bag off, and he had like kind of longish reddish hair. I want to say. I was just so surprised. I want to say.
What was that guy's name? Chuck
Barris.
Barris. Okay.
B-A-R-I-S. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've watched that show. He was pretty funny.
Yeah,
he was a host.
He would get.
Yeah, that's right. He said
He was a really short guy.
Something for you tonight.
Do like this.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Did you just call him short? Is there? That's kind of a sensitive subject for me. Okay.
It is for me too.
Well, but
coming in at 5'2", I get it.
yeah, but that's pretty average for a woman. It's a little less for a man.
Okay.
No,
I'm
I was just teasing.
I'm sorry.
You know, no, I just like to joke about it.
But they
because,
used to say
I used to get picked on a lot about it.
the rumor was that he was like some kind of CIA, FBI intelligence informant or something like that, a spy or something was the rumor. And I don't know if that ever got debunked or not.
They probably
I don't
shunned
remember.
him in Hollywood for that.
I don't remember. I just remember that being the thing that people would say that, you know. But one of the things that somebody that they later in life said it about, and it was kind of sort of true, was Mr. Rogers. He actually was some kind of top secret type government worker dude at some point.
Of some sort,
I don't know
maybe.
if he was a spy, but I think he had some clearance or something.
Okay.
I think Captain Kangaroo may have too, but
Now, what time do you like to get up in the morning?
I have to.
That's what he used to ask his
Oh
guests.
yeah, what time do you? And I was
said,
going to
"What time
answer
do you like to get-"
So I don't know. We're changing subjects, but okay.
When you mentioned Mr. Rogers, I think of that. You know, he always had his
he would always take his
sweater
shoe,
on.
doop,
You know,
do his shoe, yeah.
he was like, "Look,
And then he was leaving. He would, take his sweater off and
see you
put
tomorrow."
His jacket.
He
See
would
you
hang it
tomorrow.
up. Remember,
Yep.
he hung it up in the closet, and and they go in for the start of the show.
And
He
it would
would
make
get
me
it out of the
sad.
closet.
When I would get so happy when he would come in and take his jacket off, put his sweater on, and then when he would leave and put
Don't
it
know he's
back, put the
leaving.
sweater up,
Where's he going?
I'd be so sad. I was like, what? But I like Mr. McFeeny. Was it Mr. McPhee or Mr. McFeeny or something like that? He was the mailman. Mm-hmm. And then he also did some other characters
Oh
on
yeah,
there with
that's
the
right.
make-believe.
Yeah, they did.
World of make-believe. Lady Elaine.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
her?
I sure do. I've forgotten her. You start mentioning
I
this,
start
like I
remembering.
remember it.
Oh my gosh! I
Good-
wish I could
good
remember
old-
more, but I've got memory
Other
loss
things,
now.
Other things on your mind.
I got memory loss
Like
now.
what
so-
happened to my memory?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one thing's on my
I
mind. What
know,
happened to my memory?
my memory?
You seen what's happening in Birmingham?
Oh yeah, we'll have to talk about that when we come back. We
Okay,
got a break.
okay,
We got to
okay.
take a break. Yeah, this is a mess. Have you
Yeah.
been watching any of that?
Yeah,
Woo,
it's,
okay. Birmingham, the mayor and one of the commissioners are going. They're toe-to-toe battling it out. So we're going to talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Therese and Mike broadcasting live from the Clinton Tractor Studio. We'll be right back.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience.
Colleges are starting to bring women's flag football.
We are back. It is 8:42. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here
Throw
on
something at me,
Beach
Trace.
Radio.
Don't let me do that again. Good morning, everybody.
Trace and Mike here. Well, Trace, Mike.
Yeah, I was in the Netherlands there a minute ago.
He was over there in the zone looking up something. We were talking about some stuff, local politics, and then it kind of went on into some national politics. But I say local, Birmingham, semi-local. So, you've got Mayor Woodfin.
Randall Woodfin.
And he just won his second or third term as mayor. I can't remember.
Third, I believe.
And then you have Congresswoman.
No, it's a commissioner, county commissioner.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Congress. I'll get it right here.
That's all right.
Commissioner LaShonda Scales. Well, those two are not liking each other. They have.
Well, she used to be a Birmingham City Councilwoman.
Okay.
As well. So I think she was going to probably lose her reelection. So she decided she would then run for county commissioner in the Jefferson County Commission. And she won.
Okay.
And so, but they have, she felt like the mayor didn't give her much support when she was running for reelection. He kind of wanted, she's I would say, an older school politician versus Mayor Woodfin is probably, he might be 50. Maybe he might not be that old yet, but he's somewhere right there. He's 40s or 50s, late 40s, and he has a more progressive approach to governing. And Commissioner Scales, I think, would be, like I said, a little more older school.
Yeah.
And all I mean by that is that he needs people around him like him in order to be successful.
Yeah, he has what I consider an entourage, basically.
Well, sure. Yeah, he does. That's right. He does. Security and all that.
And
his advisors.
He's,
I don't know what the payroll looks like.
I don't either, but I imagine it's pretty high.
Well, I don't know.
And
Some of those folks may be volunteers. I just don't know.
I don't know either one of them, but I do know that he told her in a recorded phone call that one of the news I got a hold of, and it says he told her, "You can't keep my name out of your mouth," and she says, well, "This is what you called me with. You called me to say that. That's what you're calling me with." But he told her that if she didn't stop whatever it was she was doing, he was not going to support her, and he was going to support her opposition. And it just turned into this big. This actually happened in October, but they just got the recordings got released. Yeah, so they got a whole
Behind
situation going on.
there.
And here's the thing, and we talked about this several times when it happened, but last year, Jemison, they had every position open. They had their council and they had the mayor, and so but everybody was so nice to each other. Even the ones that were opposing each other, they were like, well, even if I lose, I'm still going to support so-and-so because they have a vision to make our community better. I mean, you don't hear that ever. And it was just such a refreshing thing to see. Nobody mudslinging, nobody talking bad, no backbiting, no any of that. None of this, for sure. So I think the Birmingham City and the commissioner could learn something from them. I mean, I know the commissioner is a
It's
county
so deep
thing, but
between
still,
those two, you know.
Yeah.
He's because when Randall Woodfin won
it was
his first
years.
election, you know, he was very young and he was kind of, I guess maybe he'd been some sort of activist. I don't know what he did prior to that.
Yeah.
Or I don't remember at least. But he came in fresh ideas. He wanted fresh leadership, and that meant replacing some of the people that were well entrenched, including Commissioner Scales. But you mentioned Jemison in particular. You remember a few weeks ago we had new mayor Jonathan Varden was on our show the show, and he commented about that, and he said, hey, some of those ideas that my opponents had were good ideas. So he wanted to implement them as part of his, administration, which I think that's a great sign. I think we may have actually talked about that at that time.
Yeah,
great
surround
sign of
yourself with
leadership.
great people.
Exactly, you have to. You're not going to do it all yourself. You can't humanly do it, but you can put good people around you and trust them to do their job.
Right.
And that's
exactly.
That's a sign of a good leader. And I don't know that either of these. I'm not criticizing them, but that's just what happened, right?
Yeah, I just hate
it's
to
just
see
reporting
things
what happened.
like that get public. I just think it's a bad look. But I really admire how that was handled here locally. I think they just I've never seen it. I really started getting into local politics as far as understanding it a little bit because I was in the newspaper business, and I had to, I actually had to go to these things. I had to cover some of it. I actually did, do some coverage, and we did a
City
lot
council
of
meetings and county
had to do
commission meetings and
those,
stuff.
Had to do anytime you had forums, we had to be
Public
present.
forums.
And things like that. So that was a big part of my job, and seeing how some people react to any kind of opposition is interesting, because I guess human nature for some people is if you're opposing me, you're automatically my enemy, and that's not necessarily the case.
No, it certainly isn't.
It's just it's like, and somebody said it in Jemison, I'm not saying that all of my ideas are better than anybody else's. I'm just saying that I would just like the chance to implement some of mine. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Kind of a humble approach as opposed
I thought
to
that was great.
pounding your chest going, look at me, I've got the better idea.
Yeah. If you don't do this, you're
better than this
that, other
person.
thing.
Let me tell you what about this person.
Yeah, let me tell you, mudslinging is the worst.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't do anything.
I don't know what goes on behind the scenes because I don't keep up close enough, but it does seem pretty civil, our elections around here compared to what we often see in other places.
Speaking of stuff, nationally, did you see, and I don't know how to say her name,
Ilhan Omar?
Ilhan Omar, is that how you say
She's
it?
a congresswoman from Minnesota.
She was speaking
A Somalian
yesterday.
American.
She was speaking yesterday, and at a town council or something, and somebody didn't like what she had to say, and he came up, and I guess he sprayed her in the face with something, and she didn't. Her reaction was comical to me. She reared back like she was gonna wallop him a good one, and then she realized, oh gosh, I'm a congresswoman. I'm in public. I'm in front of a camera.
It would be the first time she worried about that.
I better get my act together. Well, especially right now because she's taking a lot of heat for a lot of stuff out there, especially.
Yeah.
But she did. She reared back like she.
I mean,
was like, oh my God.
She came into office with a negative net worth as far as her financials, and now just about 6 or 8 years later, she's worth $44 million.
Wow.
That seems
wild.
a little unusual and unlikely. She must be really good at picking stocks.
Okay.
Which,
salty much?
Well, she really bothers me because she's one of these folks that came into our country and then stands there at the microphone, and all she can do
is
bash our country and talk about, we're going to change this, we're going to change that. And it's like, wait a minute, you came here for a better opportunity. You obviously found it. You're doing quite well, and yet you still beat that same drum. That America's bad, America's bad, America's bad. And I have no respect for someone that does that whatsoever.
I agree.
And you know,
not
she was accused of or suspected of marrying her brother so that her brother could become a citizen in this country. In other words, marrying your brother, which is, I guess, not against the law. I don't know. It seems unusual, though, right? So that just so he could stay in the country when he had no business being here, and she gets away with it because the media loves her. They think they want to destroy America too. I swear, I think that. Oh, it drives me crazy. You can see I told you yesterday or the day before, I was like, man, I don't want to fall off my soapbox, but boy, that just really bothers me. Yeah, I'm wavering. But the truth is, though, it's like, wait a minute now. You're in the greatest country in the world has ever put together. You know, we're not a dominating Roman Empire type country that goes around and conquers everybody and you know, subdues them, you know, to do our will. But we use our economic power. And we will use our military if we have to, but we use our economic power and our ability to get business done, I guess, to dominate the world. And everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people really want to come here. But she came here under the guise of being oppressed in Somalia and came over here, and now she's oppressed over here. In other words, it's just her. That's just the way she. That's her favorite song to sing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, she did get attacked, and that's not right. That should happen. But she had
That's
security
kind of a
there.
strong word for what happened.
Yeah, it really was. It really wasn't an attack. I mean, the guy came up and said something to her and sprayed her, like you said. But
Like she was a cat when you don't want her to
get off the counter.
get off the cat.
Our cat Sammy. Sammy, get off that counter.
I always
He's probably up there now. Get off that counter.
I always kind of push her a little bit, and she meows at me like, what?
Oh yeah.
That's my
What's the
Yeah.
problem?
So I've been wanting to talk about this story because I found it last week actually. But did you see where they have charged 25 people in an illegal fishing operation that harvested 300,000 pounds of catfish?
That's a lot of catfish.
That is a lot of catfish.
Was that down on the Coosa?
This happened in Kentucky. It was the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife said that a statewide investigation that they called Operation River Raid, oh my God, uncovered illegal harvest of catfish from public waterways. I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, they would take the catfish out, a lot of them, they said, and then they would transport them to these, what they call pay lakes, and they would put the fish from the river, or rivers, into the private lakes, and that's against the law to do that.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. There are instances, you know, where the Alabama Department of Fish and Wildlife, they will restock, you know, a lake or something. You know, they'll put fish in there, and they don't want you to take those fish out and put them in another lake. Although, how they can police that, I don't know. But
You
hey,
don't know what
they're
people are
working
doing
on it.
with their
25
fish.
people got charged,
It's a lot of folks.
and then of course selling it. You know, it's a cash operation is what they were basically busting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just trying to keep them from, make sure they're paying their taxes, I think, is probably a
guess.
lot of it.
Well, they said that it's illegal because it threatens the long-term sustainability of their natural resources.
Right.
And this went over across several counties. It was Livingston, Marshall, Boyd, Bath, Lawrence, and Powell counties in Kentucky. And more than 700 criminal charges were filed. Oh my God.
I mean, these 25 people are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they are.
But you know, the idea though is like you said, to the sustainability. And there's a reason that they're called sportsmen,
Yeah.
like a fisherman, because you know you don't take every fish that you catch, you know, home to eat. I guess you can if you have to. I understand that, but to setting aside this, but just in general, the sportsmen, they look at a fish and they know, well, this is one that needs to grow another year or two. I'll catch him in a couple years, you know, or something.
Yeah, like on Andy Griffith, they were trying to get that big old catfish.
Excuse me, and that's right. I forget Herman or something. The catfish had a
They
name.
were chasing him for years.
Oh, Gus or Sam, I think it was. It was the fish's name. So like that big catfish that they.
I don't remember
Yeah.
the name, but I just remember the situation. I love catfish. You give me some fried catfish,
Oh,
and
I know
I'm a
it.
happy girl. I don't like the bone in it though. I want the
Fillet.
fillet. I don't.
Yeah.
I've actually
prefer
been to
that
a
too.
restaurant where somebody got the catfish and the whole bone was still on it and everything.
They call that whole. The whole
Whole
catfish.
catfish.
Yeah, just like you said, the whole.
That's too many bones. From will choke.
Oh,
on
there
the
are a lot of bones on there. That's right, but it is good too. And I'm sure there's just a method to it. You learn to eat it. After a while, you figure out how much pressure to put on without cracking the bone.
I can't do it.
But on the sportsman, the idea is that they throw the fish back that need to because they want to be able to come catch that fish again in a couple of years.
Right.
But if they get that 8, 9, 10 pounder, they might take that one and mount that one on the wall.
Now my son, he goes noodling
Ooh.
at the lake where they
Explain
catch
that.
them. You catch them.
Catch big catfish.
Big catfish by putting your whole arm in their
your
mouth
fist.
and pulling them
Yeah.
out. And he came back with some marks, scrapes, scratches. That catfish actually have little teeth.
Oh, they
and
sure
they will
do.
get you, and they will fin you to death. And he came back, and he was bloodied up pretty good because one catfish gave him
The barbs. They're like
got a
poisonous.
picture- Yeah, he got a picture of this catfish, and I'm not lying. This catfish was humongous. He got one picture, and he's doing all he can to hold it up. But in the first part, when it was still on the line, he's holding that line, and he's had like a couple people helping him hold it up, and he's just agreeing, and he's so excited about it. But he does that noodling, and I don't know why. I'm like that.
We know the catfish has skin and not scales like
Right.
other fish, so they're related to the sharks. As far as that somewhere,
I did not
down
know
in the, yeah, they
that.
are. And I'm just
Stop.
glad that
Are
they,
you
that they
serious?
I am serious, but they don't. Fortunately, they don't attack people because otherwise,
Right.
I wouldn't want to
You
swim
stick
in the
your hand in there,
Coosa,
they're gonna
down
bite
there
down.
at Higgins Ferry. I wouldn't want to go in the water. But yeah, they have scales. But I had a good friend of mine back in school. He was a part-time fisherman, I guess, or maybe he's more of a part-time student. And a full-time fisherman. That fishing will getting you blood, and
Yeah.
you want to go every day. But I got to run a couple of trot lines with him back in the day, and that was fun. And but he was really upset because they were always having to watch people who would go and steal fish off their trot line. You know what their trot line is, right? You
Yeah.
just set hooks
Set hook,
they have bottles, and they would use all kind of things back then. They would, maybe not dishwashing detergent, but other types of detergent and bleach bottles and stuff. They would tie fishing line to it and basically tie them together and string them across the water and come back a few hours later and see what they caught. And they would always have a bunch of fish on there, but boy, you get somebody that knows what they're doing, they can skin a catfish in just a few seconds almost. That was not even with an electric knife.
Yeah,
he was just
that's like for
just slicing them.
Yeah,
And of course, he'd always get cut up and stuff because it's tough work. But it was fun, for a guy that like me who didn't do it for a job. I just did it because it was fun, for a couple of days. But boy, 300,000 pounds of catfish. That's a lot of catfish.
That is a lot of catfish. Well, they won't be doing it anymore anytime
Not for a
soon.
while.
Not for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, it is 9 o'clock straight up. That's going to do it for us on this Wednesday, January 28th. It's hump day, and that means the rest of the week is just all downhill
It's
after
down,
this. Yeah.
it's literally downhill after
Downhill, rolling and downhill. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you
for the
for
sports
having me.
updates. I enjoy those. And we will see you all tomorrow on Thursday, where it'll be Teresa and Taylor, TNT, coming at you. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching and listening.
Have a good day, everybody.